Alrighty, so today we are going to make ourselves a stationery gift set pocket folder. So let's make a nice little pocket folder. We can tuck in all types of little stationery gifts into here. This is a 6-pocket folder. We have 2 pockets here, 2 pockets in here, and 2 more pockets in behind here. So stay tuned and keep watching, and we'll work through how this little pocket folder is made. Alrighty, see you guys in a bit. Bye. Hi everyone, it's Karen, and I am here with day number 2 of the 12 Days of Junk Journal gift idea tutorials. And on day 2 we're going to be making a stationery gift set pocket folder. So I'm going to do a fairly quick little tutorial on how to make a gift set pocket folder that you can fill up with all kinds of other goodies. So I'm going to use some 12 by 12 paper pad, or pages from a 12 by 12 paper pad. This is, I think, from Michael's. Yeah, Recollection, so I'm thinking this is from Michael's. I pulled out 2 pages that I want to use, and I have a few scraps from other projects, and I will use one of these 3. I haven't decided which one yet. I'm leaning towards this one, but we'll get to that in a little bit. So first off, we need to trim down and also fold and score our paper. So we'll use our paper trimmer, or if you want to just cut it. I like to use the paper trimmer for scoring as well. So for this, what we will need is our first outer page and the cover. I'll be using this sheet of paper, and this we will use the full 12 by 12 piece of paper. So what we want to do though is we'll want to score it in a few places. We'll want to decide which is top and bottom. I'm not sure if it really matters with this page. It's not quite a specific directional page. You will probably want to choose paper that is non-directional, so that you don't have part of your images showing up upside down. So we're going to want to score a page at three points here. The first one we'll want to score at is at 11.5. I'm going to score down the center at 6 inches. And again at 1/2 inch. Then we'll want to rotate our page, and we'll want to score at 3 inches. How did I get it this crooked? There we go. We'll want to just fold these edges up here. So these are going to serve as a nice little finished edge on the sides of the folder. And what we'll want to do is we'll want to cut these little rectangles out on either end here, because that will reduce the bulk on the sides here. Not necessary, but it does help to reduce the bulk. So here we see the first part of this. Now what we want to do with our second sheet of paper, this is going to form a second pocket a little bit higher up. So what we'll want to do with this, first, let's put that aside. First we'll score it down the center of the page just to make it easier. Make it easier for me at least. We are also going to want to trim this a little bit off the side. So our page, once we have it folded in half, so we started with a 12-inch piece of paper. We've taken off a 1/2 inch on either side folding in, so we're down to an 11-inch piece of paper, and it's folded in half here. So we have 5.5 inches on this side from here to here, 5.5 inches from here to here. So we'll want to trim this down to just a little bit less than 5.5 inches. Because what we want to do is make sure that we have a little bit of space here so that the paper is not butting right into the fold. So if it's butted right into the fold, then it's going to tend to lift up a little bit. So we want to do it just a smidge shorter on either side. So instead of doing it at 5.5, we'll do it just a little drop less than 5.5. And since we don't need the full height, what we will want to do is trim this one to 6 inches. So we'll have a 3-inch pocket here, then we'll have a 3-inch pocket here, and then we'll have a final 3-inch pocket at the very top. So what we'll want to do is trim this in half. So we'll want to take this to 6 inches. Put these guys aside. We'll use them later for something. Put that one aside. We won't need that right now. So then what we have here is a second pocket. So once it's folded, we'll have one pocket here, another pocket here, and then we'll have a final pocket at the top. So which one do we want? I'm leaning towards that one. The green is too much of a contrast. Although I do like this one quite a bit too. Yeah, let's go with this one. So now this piece we will want to trim it just a smidge. Well, first we'll get it scored and folded in half. If you don't have scraps, you can just simply take a third piece of paper, and instead of doing it at 6 inches, you would do it at 9 inches. And then you would have that full layer through there. But since I have some scraps, I'm perfectly happy to use up a little bit of my leftovers and just use up some of my leftovers. So I'm going to take just a little hair off the end here. Because again, I want it just to have a little bit of wiggle room here on either side where I'm doing the fold. So we're done with the paper trimmer for now. Now let's start working on getting this put together. One other thing we want to do, or a couple other things we want to do, is first up I want to open up this here a little bit. So what we want to do here is I'm just going to take a pencil and just make just a quick little mark. And then I want to mark it at about, let's do it at about 3/4 of an inch on either side of the fold. Now, so I make sure that these are even. What I'm going to be doing is I'm going to be cutting a triangle out here. So I make sure that it's relatively even, because my cutting skills cutting a straight line are not the best. And this doesn't have to be precise. I'm just folding it in half, and I'm just going to cut up to that corner point. And now you see we have 2 opened up pockets here, so it's going to be a lot easier to get to. Another thing to note is if we have this folded down here, if we glue this strip down, what we've done is we've lost this little bit of extra space. So let's just look at how this is. If we have it like so, we're losing this extra 1/2 inch of pocket space. We're not able to tuck it all the way to the side. So what we can do is at this point make a little mark, and we're going to make a little mitered corner here, and the same on this side. So we'll take our scissors. You can, if you wish, draw a little triangle out. I'm just going to eyeball it and just make a little cut here. Now, once we fold this down, you see that we have the full we're able to use the full extent of this pocket all the way up to the edge. So we'll trim that little bit out there. We'll do the same on this side. Again, this doesn't have to be precise unless you want it to be very exact. I'm not that much of a perfectionist. You will also want to do the same thing for the second level of the pocket. Mark a little point here, a little point here, and we're going to do another little quick miter here so that we have the full extent of the second pocket. So again, we'll do another quick little cut. And we don't have to worry about that for this top one. So now we're ready to get everything. Nope, not quite. I missed one thing. What I want to also do is to cut a couple little notches in here. Now, do we want the paper going this way or this way? Doesn't make a difference, does it? We'll do it this way. So I'm going to use my 1.5 inch circle punch. That's what this is. So I'll fold this in half so that I keep it relatively symmetrical from one side to the other. So it doesn't have to be precise unless you want it. I'm just eyeballing it to make a quick little pop out here. And this might be where my I was afraid that I had cut it too far and that that I'd just be showing up white paper on the inside. So we'll do the same on this side, or on this insert. I did mess that up. So slide this down just a smidge so that it stays covered. So we'll attach this first piece first. So what we'll want to do is put a little bit of double-sided tape on these two flaps here. Just going to turn it around this way because it's easier for me to work with. Okay, so what we'll want to do is make sure that we have the center line lined up just so, because we don't want the paper to be buckling too much once we're done and have this all folded together. So we'll seal that down. And we'll seal this down. Then we have our second page. Again, we want to make sure that this is all tucked in along the fold. I want to put a little piece of double-sided tape on the second part of the flap now. I'll trim that down, it's a little too long. So I want to make sure that this is nicely tucked in. That was not nicely tucked in. And then for the final piece, we're going to tuck this down here. How did I manage that? So there we have 6-pocket little folder. So we can tuck in something here. So again, it can go all the way to the edge. We have a second pocket and a third pocket that goes the full length here and on both sides. So again, you see how something here we can go all the way to the edge. We haven't lost that bit of space, and the same here. So we can see for an example using the envelope we made yesterday. Yeah, you can tuck that in here. You can tuck it back here. I'm not sure if you'd want to tuck it in this spot. You could still pop this out and you're not going to have anything coming out where it shouldn't. So there we have a cute little folder. Another thing you can do, and something I actually like to do with these, is I like making these in different sizes. This one I've just done the simplest one without having to worry about measurements. And what I do like to do also is use these and keep them inside my traveler's notebooks. And what's nice when we do that is to trim the corners using a little corner rounder. Okay, the corner rounder's not working with beans. Too thick. There we go. Might be too thick. So if we trim all 4 corners, no, we'll have to do these corners double, or do them twice. Yeah. What is this? I'll trim that one after. Why is it not going in that corner? If you think this is childproof. Okay, there we go. Oh my goodness. So here we've got nice little rounded corners, just very gently rounded corners. And if you're going to be tucking this into a traveler's notebook, this allows for the space where the elastic is going to go. Or if you want to tuck it into a junk journal that you have joined with a string or an elastic, this gives you that little bit of extra space so that it's not going to put that extra strain on your item. So there we have it. A quick little, well, relatively quick little gift folder. What's the proper name for this? A stationery gift set pocket folder. So it measures roughly 5.5 by, should be 9, roughly 9 inches tall. We can make them smaller if you wish, or using the majority of a 12 by 12 sheet of paper. It's not the heaviest material. If you use cardstock, it will be sturdier, but I'm not planning on putting a whole pile of things in here. So there we have it. A cute little stationery gift set pocket folder. So it has six pockets. So you can keep all kinds of things in here, or tuck in all kinds of little things that we make over the next few days. Like I said, we can tuck in the envelope that we made. And you can tuck in all sorts of goodies that you make for giving out as a gift or for yourself. So thank you very much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this. I hope you found it helpful.